Hello everyone, my name is Galko, the Director of Scouting for Optimum Scouting, and I'm joined today by former Northwest Missouri State cornerback Ryan Jones. Ryan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good, and Ryan, first thing I want to ask you about is over your past 4 years at Division II Northwest Missouri State, you started 56 of the team's 58 games in the last 4 years. What do you credit that longevity of being not only a starter, but a guy who can stay injury-free over your career?
I don't know. There's knowing I've played that many games, and my college career is kind of a big thing. It's not like that. I played that many games for 4 years. I guess I have the privilege. I play each year that we go into the season. We're knowing that we're playing to December. And now that teams, that's like one of their main goals. But that's like one of our big things that we make sure that happens for us each year.
Mm-hmm. And part of your team's success this year was definitely thanks to you, even on the stat sheet, and getting 6 interceptions from this past season. Another thing to credit you, what do you think you credit that success to of having 6 interceptions this past season, even though teams coming into the year knew you were one of the better quarterbacks in the conference?
First of all, just the preparation. Not only for me and what comes to film study, but also my defensive linemen, and they help me out when I put pressure on the quarterback, and I think that helps out a lot for me when it comes to that. So even if we do face, when we face the better quarterbacks in our conference, we want to make sure that we somehow, put pressure on them, make sure we get in his face so he can throw up that ball to somebody in our secondary.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think obviously pressure has a huge thing to do with it at any level of football, but obviously having you have those ball skills to catch the ball and bring it down and at least, get some chunk of return yards, just not for a touchdown as well, which I know you did in your career as well. But another thing I want to ask you about is the D2 question and not being at the FBS level where, compared to SEC guys, you haven't faced the same type of receivers talent-wise. How have you answered those questions to NFL scouts if any have asked you about it, and how do you think you will answer that question come when NFL scouts are very intrigued by your skills?
I think that, I think my skill level, even though I did come from a small spot, I think my skill level is just good, and if it's not that, to me, it just takes a little bit of practice, to get better at it. Those guys, Division I, they have, really good coaches and all that stuff, but I also believe that, as me, I had a really good coach myself, and he knew exactly what he was talking about, and he knew what it took for me to get to the next level as well. So, and I think that really helped out a lot with that. And then also, after work on my technique, and also, I did have a lot of athleticism that kind of took place. So, I do need work on my technique as well, which is, completely fine with it. I know I need to work hard at it, and I'm willing to do that, at any coach.
And you got a chance to kind of showcase your skills in front of NFL scouts and against sometimes the FBS type competition, or at least elite level talents like yourself at the lower level leagues, playing at the Texas vs. Nation game. Talk about that experience and how you felt you did.
That was a really great experience. To finally, have the opportunity to go against guys that are like I see on TV, every Saturday night or whatever, the Big 12 and the SEC or whatever, and then the fact that I could hang with them, it's also a great feeling knowing I could do that, and it proves that I am that good of an athlete to do that, and it also shows to discuss that I can also hang with them, I can run with them, I can do it just as good as those guys do up there.
Mm-hmm. Who was the best receiver you faced this past week, or at the Texas vs. Nation game?
I would probably have to say, I can't tell. I think Ricardo Lockett or something like that. He's from Fort Valley, the receiver from Fort Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chris Matthews, definitely, just because he was so tall and he knew how to use his body well when it comes to, jump balls and when it comes to doing comeback routes. That definitely was a challenge to go up against.
And now, after the Texas vs. Nation game, after a very productive career and after this past week of impressing in front of NFL scouts to the best of your ability, you still didn't get an NFL Combine invite. How much does that frustrate you not being recognized as an NFL Combine worthy guy?
It doesn't really frustrate me, but it's more, kind of a disappointment. But then again, I don't worry about that. I don't like to. I just feel like as if That to me, it's like a sign that I'm not ready, to show, to run my 40 and all that stuff. And then to me, which is perfectly fine because I know that I need to get better as the weeks progress and get ready for my own pro day. And I think that, I don't think that's a big deal to me at all.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is the biggest thing you need to work on before the NFL draft process finishes and the NFL draft comes along for you to show NFL scouts that you are an NFL type cornerback?
I would say my technique, definitely like that, and just more quicker reaction when it comes to like walking into like a receiver on one-on-one. Getting in and out of my breaks for sure.
And finally, what are you planning on running at your pro day, like you mentioned before, as far as 40-yard dash time and shuttles are concerned, as well as what are you hoping to show at that pro day in front of NFL scouts?
Well, I'm hoping, as of right now, I feel like I'm going to run a 4.3 or 4.4. I'm feeling pretty good about it right now and where I'm at with my training and how I get progressing each week.
Mm-hmm. And what else do you think you can show at that pro day that can answer some NFL draft scouts questions?
Just whenever we do like my position drills, just how much faster I'm gonna come out of my breaks and react to the ball a lot quicker.
Okay. All right, Ryan. Well, thanks again for talking to us today. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and best of luck in the NFL draft process as it goes along, and maybe we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks again, Ryan.
All right. Okay.
And again, that was Ryan Jones, former cornerback of Northwest Missouri State, now one of the better sleeper NFL draft prospects in this draft process. So thanks again for listening today. Again, my name is Galko from Optimum Scouting. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you more soon.